Hello everyone, I am Tacet, and today I'm going to be going over how newer players should be spending all of their resources when they're first starting the game. I'm going to be doing this for gold, souls, glory, and gems. These are all of the basic main resources that you'll be accumulating early on in the game. There are about like dozens of different resources in this game. The main fifth one that we could kind of add to this are trait stones. But I'll likely be doing a few videos for trait stones on their own because trait stones are a lot more complicated than these basic resources. So let's start right off with gold. As a newer player, the first thing you should try prioritizing with gold is to use some on gold chests. Gold chests will give you a little bit of all resources. They'll also help you get a lot of commons and rares, as that's all that drops from these chests are commons and rares. And this will help start getting your very first teams built. It's also going to be giving you a lot of resources, or a lot of trait stones that you'll be able to use to trait things, as well as glory, gold, and gems. And these will be used to get up the other resources, since you won't really have easy methods to do so early on in the game. So I definitely advise doing gold chests when you first start off until you get a Valkyrie. And once you get a Valkyrie, you'll pretty much be set to go. She's one of the better farming troops in this game. So what do you do with your gold after you get a Valkyrie? After that, I would advise upgrading kingdoms. If you go into any kingdom, click on kingdom, and then go right over to its kingdom level, you'll be able to upgrade it here for an amount of gold. If I'm not mistaken, it starts at like 500 and 1000 and 2000 and just keeps going up or something like that. As far as leveling kingdoms up, you're going to be getting an increased tribute chance every single time you do. This will be increasing whatever the tribute reward says here. And every single time you collect your hourly tribute on your home kingdom, it's just going to trigger that for every single kingdom. And if that low percent ends up triggering, you get whatever it says under the tribute for that kingdom. And it also upgrades your gem mastery. In all matches, you have a gem mastery number. And this adds onto your hero right over here. And on the very first page, it tells you what your surge chance is. And this is what the chance is whenever you take a 3-pair of this color, that you will end up doing a surge chance. One thing to note is that it is not a 1-to-1 ratio based on how many you have. One mastery ends up doing it by, I think, like 0.6% or something, and it just keeps diminishing from there. So as you get more and more, it gets less effective. But as about 50 mastery in each is when it starts to dip off and become a lot less effective. But having it any amount higher will really help in getting those 3 pairs to give you double mana. Because whenever you take a 3-pair, of course, whatever this chance is, you'll then have a additional chance of whatever this is to get a 3 additional mana on top of it. And that's definitely what you want to do when you first start off. Get every single kingdom to about 3. Personally, I say 3. Some people would also argue get all the kingdoms to 4 or 5. I only did it to 3 on my Let's Play account, and I found that to be a nice number to stop once you get it to every single kingdom, because it starts to get exponentially more expensive from there. But get them all to like a solid 3, 4, or 5, and then start upgrading them. As far as upgrading them with gold, you'll want to start off most likely with magic or attack. Magic kingdoms consist of things like Character. As you can see, you just need to go into kingdom, and whatever skill bonus it says there is what you get once you get it to level 10. Character, Soul Carry, Darkstone, and I actually forget the last one on the top of my head. Where's the 4th one? And I actually completely forget. Anyways. Oh, and Blighted Lands? Was it Blighted Lands? I don't even remember. That's horrible. And Blighted Lands, yes. So it's Blighted Lands, Darkstone, Zolkari, and Karakarath all give magic. But anyways, those are the main ones you should prioritize with your gold when you first start off, because magic is currently the most effective trait that you can possibly get, and probably always will be, based on how they have it ratioed in this game. So definitely consider getting these 4 kingdoms upgraded to level 10 first, and then kind of go into everything else from there with your gold. Next up, let's go straight into glory. Glory is an interesting resource because it's the only resource in the game that you actually can't directly buy. Technically, you could buy other resources and then kind of gain more glory, but there isn't any way that you can directly buy glory. So it's kind of to measure your actual activity in the game. The main way that you obtain glory is to get up to PvP rank 1 every single week. If you go over to rank rewards, you'll be seeing, or not that rank rewards, to tier rewards, I mean, you'll be seeing a bunch of rewards that you get as you go up in PvP. And every single week, you'll want to reach 1,900 and get there by usually Monday or Tuesday if you can. There's two reasons for this. For one, you want to get there so you get all these glories here. This is actually a lot of glory compared to other resources that you get. It's probably the best thing that you get from leveling up, other than the glory keys as well. The glory and the glory keys. You can end up accumulating a lot of glory through this method. You also end up gaining glory every single day based on what your ranking is. If you're only at 15, you're going to be gaining 1 glory per day whenever you claim your daily reward. But if you're all the way up at rank 1, that'll be giving you 16 glory every single day. So that's a difference of 105, if I'm not mistaken, throughout the entire week if you get to rank 1 on the very first day. So that's a lot of extra glory. What do you spend glory on? The main thing you should spend glory on is never ever on glory chests. This is mostly because guild tasks and other means of claiming these, you'll basically never need to spend glory on it. I highly advise never directly spending glory on glory keys. There's so many other ways you obtain them that you never need to. The main thing you should spend the glory on is the packs every single week. If you go under the shop and then rewards, there's usually 1, 2, maybe 3 event chests. Actually, the reason I say 3, PC and mobile has never seen 3 or 4 yet, but the developers just said that in a couple weeks they're probably going to be doing 3 or 4 on the console version, so they can catch up to the PC and mobile version. So I figured I'd put that out there now for those of you who do not know. Anyways, these packs are the best value in the entire game for spending glory, because you get a unique troop, a new troop too, and most of the newer troops, since they try different mechanics and stuff, tend to be more towards the stronger side compared to how all the rest of the troops in the game are balanced. And you also get some glory keys, even though you could buy them directly. You even get some just from here. You get some gold keys, you get a bunch of gold. And the main two things that make it worth it as well is you get arcane trade stones. These are really, really hard to obtain in this game, and you can get them flooded in if you spend a bunch of glory on them. And you also get a couple of minor trait stones, which will help a lot in being able to get those traits that you need. The epic packs, or the 400 glory packs in particular, are extremely valuable because they give 2 arcane trait stones instead of just the 300 packs that give 1. But of course, the 300 packs, they cost cheaper, and you're still getting all the same resources. So you'll be able to accumulate more glory keys, gold, and minor trait stones if you were to do the cheaper packs. So they're definitely the best 2 things to spend glory on, and basically the only 2 things you spend glory on. The only other option that is somewhat worth it is the maps. If you don't want to use Tyree to farm up maps, you can just buy a few from the shop, and if you're really good at them, you can earn more glory from a map than the cost that a map even is. So you'll just be able to get it right back and just play maps as long as you want, and you'll be able to just switch through resources quite well that way. Another way that you can gain both gold and glory is from the actual treasure hunt minigame, which is what you use those maps for. If you don't have any kind of gold or soul armor, this is actually one of the best methods when you first start on the game to gain a bunch of resources, because you gain literally every single resource from doing a treasure map minigame. And let's go now on to souls. Souls early on in the game. The first thing you want to do is find her and level her as far as you can. You want to get a Valkyrie, you want to level her up. She transforms the select mana to blue and then gains a bunch of souls. The developers did say that in the future, possibly the next patch as well, they'll be adding different ways so that all teams can farm souls. The main problem with how the game is currently set up is you need to put a Valkyrie in your team if you want to soul farm. And you definitely want to get her. She's a rare. You can get her from glory chests. You can get her from gold chests. You definitely want to get her as quick as possible when you first start off in the game, and build a team around her so you can accumulate those souls, and those will be helping you out a lot. So what else do you end up spending your souls on? Well, this is mostly dependent on the kind of troops that you get. Some that are fairly good to mention are Knight Coronet. Knight Coronet is one of the more popular choices early on in the game. He is an ultra rare, so you need to do glory keys or gold keys to be able to obtain him. Glory keys or gem keys to be able to obtain him. and he has some really good traits if you can ever get it up. But his ability has a 2-to-1 ratio. He's really strong all around. Definitely a good choice to level. Plus, he works with Valkyrie. Another one to consider is the Lava Elemental if you're on PC and mobile. Similarly, has good traits if you can ever afford them. And he has a 3x ratio. Anything with a 3x ratio is definitely worth considering early on in the game to use some of your souls on, because even at a lower level, it's going to be able to do a bunch of damage, plus all the other stats effects and base damage that he has. Other than that, some other considerations could be Alchemist. Alchemist can farm a bunch of extra gold as you get him up. He also can transform a selected mana color to yellow, which you can use to feed your Valkyrie and things of that nature. Some other considerations could be Rockworm. Rockworm, as far as souls are, it's only a common, so it's going to be really cheap to get. And you can just put a couple of them on the team, and it'll just loop with itself. Something like Deep Borer with 3 Rockworms. One other thing to consider spending your souls on when you're first starting off in the game is a class. You get a class from quite a few kingdoms. As far as early kingdoms are concerned, you get one pretty much from every single one in this general area. Like this whole area that I'm circling in right now, each one of them has a class. That one has a class, there, Kedar, and a couple other places as well. But this main circle right here where you first start off is where all of the classes are. And you definitely want to consider leveling up one of them. You really don't need to level up them all. Kind of just look through them and figure out which one you have. I know I have another video on it that I've uploaded in the past. I'll probably just link it right on the screen right now if you want to go check that out. But you definitely want to consider which one you want to get up and then start leveling. And of course, the easiest one would be to do the Warlord class, which you get from Broken Spire, the very first kingdom. You just go straight over to your classes, switch over to it, and you'll be able to level it on this page. And it gives your hero a bunch of extra stats, plus you'll be able to get perks that you can use on it, and a bunch of other things to make it stronger. Of course, only one perk at a time can be active. And it even has traits for your hero if you choose to use them, though they are fairly expensive, and you don't really need to do this early on. And now for the last resource of gems. Gems, of course, is the premium currency in this game that you have to buy with money. Luckily, there are plenty of ways to obtain them in this game absolutely for free. These mainly include early on in the game, the treasure hunt minigame, as well as from gold and glory keys will occasionally give a gem or a few gems. Let's see, can we get one? Yeah, like right there you can see we got a gem. Actually, we got a little bit of everything. Gem, glory, souls, and gold. That's also why I said you should kind of spend most of your gold into gold keys when you first start off, and then transition it more into a guild and kingdoms as you get Valkyrie and a better footing on your team. Once you get a good team, you can really just stop spending on gold keys. But as far as gems are concerned, there is a really set pattern to spend your gems on. The first thing that you should do once you get 50 gems is go over to armors and get yourself one of the 50 gem armors. The best two would be the assassin armor or the dwarven armor. This will come in handy for getting those extra resources right at the beginning of the game. It is optional to skip this, but if you're not in a really good guild, it's going to be a long time before you go from 50 all the way to 500 gems. So it might be worth your time to consider getting one of these, but of course, you're basically wasting that 50 as soon as you get the 500 gem armor. So you can skip it if you want, but you won't have the extra 50% as you do so. And the main two armors that you want to save up for all your gems for when you first start off in the game, you don't want to buy any event chests, you don't want to buy any gem chests, don't spend gems on anything else other than one of these two. These are the best two armors in the game, unless you spend $50 to get the Death Knight armor, which gives 100% to all. But as far as free-to-play goes, these are the best two armors that you can obtain, both of which cost 500 gems. As far as which one is better, I normally go with Dragon Armor. The main reason for this is gold is used for everything. Gold specifically, one of the reasons why I suggest this is it's easier to get into a better guild if you have Dragon Armor than Celestial Armor, because many guilds have high gold requirements. Some can go, depending on how casual or hardcore you want to go with the game, some guilds have like 10,000 gold requirement, others have like 100,000, and some even go as high as like 300,000, 400,000, 500,000 gold per week requirements. to be able to do. And if you're getting an extra 50% gold per match, you're going to be able to get into a much better guild, be able to do their minimum better, and you'll have more gold to spend on things like gold keys, on upgrading kingdoms, and stuff like that. Similarly, gold keys will be able to get you all resources, whereas if you get celestial armor, you're kind of stuck only farming souls. Celestial armor isn't horrible, though. It's really good if you want to do a lot of the arena minigame, which is right in Broken Spire. You just go straight to arena. Arena actually has the best payout for souls in the entire game, other than Valkyrie farming. But you get 500 per... if you can get all 8 wins, you get 500 per cycle. And that takes about, on average, I'd say 40 minutes or so, depending on how good or bad you are at it. And if you have the Celestial Armor, you'll be getting an additional 500. Whereas if you were doing Dragon Armor, it'd only be an additional 250. Celestial Armor is also really good if you want to farm things like the challenges here. They all give a bunch of souls, and the last one is 100 souls. If you have Celestial Armor, you'll be getting an additional 100, and stuff like that is what it is really used for. Dragon Armor is more if you want to do PvP. Celestial is more of if you want to upgrade your troops, have a variety to use, and go arena and challenges. But as far as everything spending-wise, that is pretty much everything. If you have any other questions about spending in this game, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. I know I didn't go over absolutely everything here, but I just wanted to give a brief overview of the basics for spending your resources, because I have been getting a lot of questions. So if you have any additional ones after this video, feel free to leave it in the comment section below, and I will love to answer them for you. Anyways, that will do it for this video. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.